Most men wait for a woman to say she likes them. That's their first mistake. Women rarely confess their feelings outright, at least not at first. Instead, they speak in signals, gestures, and subtle moves that most men overlook. And here's the brutal truth. If you're waiting for a woman to spell it out for you, you'll miss every opportunity you've ever had. Science backs this up. Studies in social psychology reveal that up to 80% of human attraction is non-verbal, meaning that by the time a woman tells you she likes you, she's already been showing it for weeks, maybe months. The problem? Most men don't know how to read the signs. If a woman is into you, she won't always say it, but she will do these 10 things. Pay attention, because once you recognize these signs, you'll never miss another opportunity again. Sign 1. She finds excuses to be around you. Attraction isn't always loud. It isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's as simple as proximity, the way she lingers near you, the way she seems to appear in the same spaces as you, the way she positions herself just close enough to be noticed, but not obvious enough to be called out on it. This isn't just happenstance, it's psychology. The proximity effect, a well-documented psychological principle, states that the more often we see someone, the more we start to like them. This is why people who work together, study together, or live near each other often develop deeper bonds, even if they weren't initially attracted. Women understand this instinctively. If a woman is into you, she will make sure she's around. At work, she's passing by your desk more than usual. At the gym, she suddenly starts working out in the area next to you. At a party, somehow she always ends up in your immediate space, even if there are 50 other people in the room. And here's the trick. It never looks deliberate. She'll make it seem natural, like she just happened to be in the same coffee shop, or she just happened to need help with something at work, or she just happened to choose the same social event. But let me ask you, how many times can something be a coincidence before it stops being one? The key here isn't just that she's near you, it's that she finds ways to stay there. If you move to another part of the room, does she follow a few minutes later? If you start a conversation, does she linger instead of walking away? If you leave, does she suddenly seem less engaged with what's happening? These are subconscious signs of attraction, ones she might not even realize she's doing herself. And if she combines this with sustained eye contact, that's your final confirmation. A woman doesn't repeatedly position herself in your space unless she's drawn to you. And once you recognize this sign, you'll start to notice it everywhere. Sign 2. Her body language gives her away. Words are easy to manipulate. A woman can say anything she wants, but her body will always tell the truth. Psychologists estimate that over 80% of human communication is nonverbal. This means that even when a woman isn't saying anything directly, her body, her eyes, her movements, they're all speaking for her. And if you know how to read them, you'll never miss another sign again. So how does a woman's body betray her attraction? Here's what to watch for. 1. Her feet point toward you. This is one of the most overlooked but powerful indicators of attraction. People unconsciously position their bodies toward what they want, and this starts from the ground up. If her feet are pointed toward you in a group setting, she's engaged. If they're pointed away, she's looking for an escape route. This isn't something people think about, it's subconscious, making it one of the most reliable tells. 2. She leans in when you speak. Imagine you're telling a story. Everyone's laughing, but she's the one who leans in just a little closer. Why? Because leaning in is a primitive bonding mechanism. When a person leans into someone else, it signals interest, focus, and comfort. It's the body's way of saying, I want to be close to you. Now, contrast this with someone leaning away. Distance equals disinterest. Proximity equals attraction. It's that simple. 3. She mirrors your movements. This is where things get fascinating. Mirroring is when a woman subtly copies your body language, gestures, or energy, and she won't even realize she's doing it. If you take a sip of your drink, she does too. If you lean back in your chair, she follows. If you cross your arms a few moments later, so does she. Why does this happen? Because mirroring is a biological synchronization tool. It's how people build unspoken rapport with those they feel connected to. And the crazy part? You can test this in real time. The next time you're talking to a woman, subtly change your posture. Lean back, adjust your arms or tilt your head. Then wait. If she follows your movement within 30 seconds, her body is telling you what her words aren't. She's into you. Sign 3. She starts asking personal questions. A woman who's into you doesn't just talk, she asks, and not just any questions, personal ones. Are you seeing anyone? A classic. What kind of women do you like? She's testing her chances. What do you do when you're not working? She wants to be part of that time. These aren't small talk. They're probes. She's gathering intel, figuring out where she stands, and most importantly, seeing if there's room for her in your life. The biggest clue? She remembers the little things you tell her. You casually mention your favorite coffee. Next time, she brings it to you. You talk about a band you like. A week later, she brings them up in conversation. This is called selective memory bias, where people unconsciously retain details about someone they care about. If she remembers even the tiniest details about you, know this: you're on her mind more than you think. Sign 4. She gets jealous, but hides it poorly. A woman who's into you won't always admit it, but her jealousy will expose her. She won't come out and say, "I like you, and I don't want other women near you." That would be too obvious. Instead, she'll mask her jealousy in subtle ways. If you mention another woman, her mood shifts, even if just for a second. If you're talking to a female friend, she suddenly joins the conversation. If she teases you about other women, there's a hidden edge to it, like she's testing you. This happens because, psychologically, jealousy is one of the strongest indicators of attraction. When a woman isn't into a guy, she doesn't care who he's talking to. But if she reacts, even subtly, she sees you as hers, even if she won't admit it yet. Sign 5. She plays with her appearance around you. Women are hyper-aware of their appearance when they're around someone they like. If she's into you, she won't just show up. She'll make sure she looks good when she does. Pay attention to these clues. She fixes her hair when she's talking to you. Preening behavior, it's subconscious. She applies lip gloss or lipstick in front of you. She wants you to notice her lips. She adjusts her outfit when she sees you, making sure everything is perfect. This is evolutionary psychology in action. Studies show that women enhance their femininity when they're attracted to someone, whether that's adjusting their posture, smoothing out their dress, or making sure you see their best angles. And here's a secret. If she goes out of her way to dress up when she knows she'll see you, it's because you're already living rent-free in her mind. Sign 6. She tries to impress you, even in subtle ways. When a woman is into you, she won't just exist in your world. She'll try to stand out in it. This doesn't mean she'll throw herself at you or make grand gestures. In fact, it's often the little things that reveal the most. Think about this. Have you ever noticed a woman casually mention her accomplishments around you? Maybe she drops a line about a big project she's working on, a skill she's mastered, or even a personal achievement. That's not just random conversation. That's her subconsciously signaling that she's valuable, capable, and worth your attention. This goes back to evolutionary psychology. Studies show that women, just like men, engage in subtle competitive behavior when they want to attract someone. They highlight their best traits, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. How does this show up? If she's into fitness, she'll mention how often she works out. If she's successful, she'll casually talk about her career wins. If she's funny, she'll go out of her way to make you laugh. But here's the key. She's not trying to brag. She's trying to stand out. And the biggest sign. She'll be looking at your reaction. She wants to see if you're impressed, intrigued, or drawn in. If you are, that's exactly the validation she's hoping for. Sign 7. She teases you, but in a different way. Flirting isn't always obvious. Sometimes it comes disguised as playful teasing. If a woman is into you, she won't just be nice and polite all the time. She'll mess with you. She'll mock your music taste, but with a smile. She'll make fun of something you wear, but her eyes say she likes it. She'll call you a bad influence, but still follow your lead. This is a classic push-pull technique. She's pulling you in with attention, but pushing you away just enough to make the interaction exciting and unpredictable. Why does this work? Because it creates tension. Psychologists call this playful antagonism. It's when people bond through light-hearted teasing, and it's one of the strongest ways to build attraction without making things too serious. The real giveaway? If you tease her back, she doesn't get offended. She leans in even more. Because at that point, it's not teasing anymore. It's foreplay. Sign 8. She accidentally touches you. A woman can say anything she wants, but if she's touching you, that's her body speaking for her. And here's the truth. Women do not touch men they aren't comfortable with. If she's finding ways to make physical contact, no matter how small, it's not by accident. What does this look like? She brushes your arm when she laughs. She fixes something on your shirt. She lingers when she hands you something, fingers grazing yours just a second longer than necessary. This is all intentional. She wants to feel you. She wants to know what it's like to be physically close to you. Here's something wild. Studies show that even the smallest skin-to-skin contact can trigger a rush of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That's why these little touches feel electric. And the biggest test? If you touch her back, she doesn't flinch. She leans in. That's when you know she's not just flirting. She's waiting for you to make a move. Sign 9. She finds reasons to stay in touch. Most men think that if a woman is interested, she'll just text first. That's not always the case. Instead, a woman who's into you will create reasons to keep the conversation going without making it seem too obvious. She asks random questions she could Google herself. Hey, do you know a good coffee spot around here? She sends you memes or funny posts. Translation: I saw this and thought of you. She updates you on something totally unnecessary. So, you know that song we talked about? I heard it again today. See the pattern? She's not texting for practical reasons. She's texting because she wants to keep the connection alive. The biggest tell: she never lets the conversation die. Even if you stop responding for a bit, she finds a way to restart it. Because to her, even the smallest interaction with you feels better than silence. Sign 10. She opens up about her life and asks about yours. This is the final and most powerful sign of all. When a woman is into you, she doesn't just keep things light and surface level. She gets real. She starts telling you things that she doesn't share with just anyone. Her dreams, fears, and ambitions. Her past experiences, good and bad. The things she struggles with, even if she acts strong on the outside. This is because when a woman truly likes a man, she doesn't just want his attention, she wants his understanding. And the real test? She asks you deep questions too. What's something you've never told anyone? Do you believe in love? What's your biggest regret? She's not asking just to make conversation. She's trying to see inside your mind. Because for a woman, attraction isn't just about looks, it's about emotional connection. And when she starts letting you into her world, That's when you know she's already decided you're the man she wants. Most men go through life clueless about when a woman likes them. They wait for words, but attraction doesn't work like that. Women don't say it, they show it. If you start noticing these signs, everything changes. You'll stop second-guessing, you'll stop missing out on opportunities, and you'll finally see the world of attraction the way it really works. So now, let me ask you, which of these signs have you seen before? Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more deep psychological breakdowns like this. You won't want to miss what's coming next.